is well. Welcome to another Living Well is a Lifestyle vlog. You all, just like my title says, are you ready for what God has planned next? You all, I am sitting here basking in the sun right now. I've actually just finished buku work, preparing my workshop space for teaching in home backyard homesteading. So I had a visitor today, and it was pleasing to me. It was really pleasing to know what the need is for those who desire to do backyard gardening, because many want to do it but don't know where to get started, don't have barriers, and are we ready in teaching people based on their barriers. So this morning I had a visitor from social services. And if you know me, I've been in the social work space for 25, almost 30 years, doing social work ministry, literally in the space professionally, as a ministry and as a professional. And my thing is to teach people sustainable well being, not give them a band aid, but give them hardcore solutions to, improving their lives over time. Because what we do know is without access, education, and support, sometimes people can have a difficult time getting to the next level. And we understand that it's most important that we meet people's basic needs before we do anything else. So that is my theoretical perspective on things. Give people what they need, their basic needs, meet their basic needs, but we're not putting band-aids. We're not saying this is what you're going to do every single time, but we're going to give you some new set of skills to begin making improvements in your life right where you are. And I say that with a lot of hope. I say that with a lot of willpower, that I had to do it, we can all do it, but we start right where we are. So God has me in a special place, and yes, you are looking at the garden today. I am preparing for my workshop space to teach backyard homesteading in my local community. And I'm excited about that. I had a visitor from a social worker this morning, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And she was very impressed with the work that we are doing here, or should I say, me? Because believe it or not, I did all of this. I flipped this entire backyard in 2.5, close to 3 years now. Started with a small space, and then I flipped the yard because I realized that we were on the trajectory since 2020. We have been on the trajectory to trying to figure it out, for some time. And I just went along with it and said, I'm going to figure it out. It had to be a better way. There had to be a better way for me to sustain, even in an emergency, in a time where there is famine, or whether there is states of emergency. There has to be a better way. And so I ask you today, those of you who are out there, who are gardeners, who are doing, not just gardeners, but who are doing work in the sustainable well-being space. Are you prepared for what God has next for you? Because what I learned is that I am. I am prepared, and God said to get prepared, to dig deeper, into what I know and am able to teach, right? What do you know and you're able to teach? And not just that, but are you in a business position to reap the rewards that God has for you? Because, to do this work, okay, you can serve and do it, but God wants more for us. He wants us to have not just 7, but 8 streams of income. And so I am already in a contractual business capacity. I own a business, a social enterprise. We've been in business for since 2012. So we're 14 years old, this particular business. And we contract with local government, with the city, with companies. We contract with whoever needs our services. And so it's important that when you are growing out your space and you're doing the things that you know you can do and you're able to teach even here on YouTube, like many of us are here teaching things, but have we prepared for what's next? Are we in a capacity to grow at the speed God wants us to grow, right? We know that the way that the economy is set up these days, it's really favoring those who are in business, those who have their businesses aligned to teach what they know and are able to teach. So today, I thought about my tour with the social worker and how amazing that was, and the connection to the department and the connection to another local community because she's not from this area, so she's from a neighboring county, and so that just increased my capacity to be able to get into that county. So you never know who is going to bring to your you just never know where you're gonna meet someone. So make sure you are networking, number 1, that you're in the space. If you wanna be in agricultural space, make sure you're networking with the local farmers. Make sure you're networking with your community agencies that really need your services, and social services is one of those for me, right? Because my job is teach sustainable well-being. I don't care where you are in life. One pot, one seed, one plant at a time, and we're going to learn to feed ourselves. Do you know what it takes to grow food in 6 days? Did you know that if the whole world was shut down, that you could grow lettuce in 6 days, that you could grow sprouts that are more nutritious than any vegetable that you grow? Did you know that you can grow microgreens? You could take a broccoli sprouts and grow those in 6 days, and they are better for you than the broccoli that takes you 60 days to grow. So it's important that we get educated and that we are prepared to do the work. And so God has prepared me in a special place out here in this homestead backyard garden to not only show people what is possible, but to also help them to get started, because it's not just about me, it's about my community, right? If I can teach my neighbors, if I can teach students, if I can teach, community small groups, if I can teach whoever, if I can go to the classroom, if I can work in the horticulture department, if I can, use my skills as a professor, we have to prepare for God's plan. And as a contractor, that has positioned me to do what is necessary to reap the benefits of all this hard work and my desire to teach um, individuals how to develop sustainable well-being for their lives. So what am I doing today? Today, after the tour, what I realized was that I need to go ahead and set up my workshop space a little better. So I've got a small space, like we have the garden. I have the garden, right? I have the garden, which is beautiful and growing beautifully. The trees, everything is blooming. And so we're excited. Got some new plants we're nursing, and we're going to be planting soon, right? Because I have so much going on, and like I said, I do all this myself, so I take my time and I do a little bit each day. What is the priority for me today? So today, I'm cleaning up my area a little bit so I can grab things a little easier. So making sure that I'm utilizing all of my grow space, Hello, how are you doing? You're so blessed to be in your beautiful garden. Thank you, Philip, 457. Welcome back. Um, and so I am getting all of my supplies ready so that they are available when I need them. I know where I can find them. That's very important to me, being organized, knowing where my plants are. Let me just show y'all this while I'm at it. Y'all, do you know what this is? Can anybody tell me what this is? Can anybody here tell me what these are? These six plants. Take a guess. Can anybody take a guess what that is? Take a guess. Anybody, take a guess. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all. I don't know if you know this or not, but you can actually grow apples from seed. This is a seed. It's apple trees. I planted these from seed from an apple that I was eating 2 years ago. There were 16 of them, but now we only have six that survived. And so these were the six that survived. And now that I know a little bit more about trees, I now know how to treat these. These are definitely in need of some fertilizer. They were overwintered. I overwintered them in my greenhouse. Oh, look at that node right there. That's a nice looking node, isn't it? That is building. That's really strong. That's a strong looking node. And now that I'm able to look at these, I'm able to see their growth. I'm going to give them some fertilizer, and so their stem, because we what I was trying to get was really strong stems, and I've been working on that. So these overwintered, this is what came out. And so what I'm doing right now is building out my workshop area. So this is where I will bring plants to harden off. Yes, apple trees, my own apple trees I grew from seed. They do take quite a while to grow. So this is the area where I will bring plants out of the greenhouse to harden off. And I'm building out this area right here to teach workshops and to have people come and grow and learn how to pot and learn how to use mixed soil, learn how to, to grow. So this is what I'm doing today is working on. Oh, there's a frog in there somewhere. I think the frog got into the water thing. I think the frog got in there and he's stuck. He's in there somewhere. I hear him. Yep, he sure is in there. You hear him? I think he's stuck in this water system. This is a old-fashioned air conditioning unit that you can plug in and get air outside. It's on wheels. It's real nice. My husband friend gave it to him. But I'm building this out as a workshop area. I'm gonna tent it, and so I'm looking now to see what we need. This is the so we're gonna this is gonna be the grow another outdoor grow area where we teach the skill of growing food, mixing soil, soil dynamics, watering, all the things. So this is this will be kind of like my agricultural office space outside. You have a fruit and vegetable supermarket. Yes, sir, I do. And this will be our outside curing area. So we'll cure here like potatoes, onions, things that need some time outside to mature, to dry before you take them inside. So this is I'm just setting it up. This is I think a good setup. This is my extra pots that I have. So I have these all stacked and utilized. I'm going to be putting in some more racks so I can put these on racks because I really like to see what's happening on the ground. I'm really particular. That is a loud frog. I'm really particular about seeing what's on the ground. So we have to get this pile moved, this wood pile moved this week, because it's just extra wood, but I'm gonna have to build something to hold this wood because I need to see the ground. That's very important to me to see the ground because gardens be having little things little slitherers, and I need to be able to see what's happening on the ground. You have to keep your area in no matter what, you have to keep your area, your grounds clean, you have to keep your backyard clean. You have to All of those things are so important because otherwise you will invite rodents into your garden and you don't want that. So I am a very, very much a neat freak. I need to be able to see what's happening everywhere, right? So that's my focus this week is to finish out this area, get this area up and running, get it tinted, um, get it an overhead over here so that, a make it like kind of like also a lunch area where we can have like little barbecue space. If we want to have hot dogs and hamburgers or whatever, maybe we'll have zucchini and squash. I don't know. Maybe we'll have vegetable somethings. I don't know. But at any rate, this is my beautiful backyard oasis. And yes, I did every bit of this myself. Absolutely. It takes so much time and dedication. I am an educator. I'm retired from work from 30 years, but I still teach. And when I want to, and I do research. So this is what a backyard homestead looks like. This is what a backyard homestead looks like, and it takes work. It takes commitment. It takes diligence, and everything's waking up. Last time y'all saw it, it was sleep, I guess, but everything's waking up, including this grapevine. We've got grapes already budding. They're coming in even on the fence line. You can even see the little grapes on these little muscadines. I don't know if you can see them, but even the muscadines are starting to develop grapes. We're going to have a lot going on here this year. Muscadines grow fast and they get a lot of fruit. But I have Concords, muscadines, my grapes, my bananas are already 5 feet tall. Last time y'all saw them, they were little itty bitty bananas. But that's the important thing is when you are called to do a thing, you have to do it and do it in excellence. And because God has a plan for us, He has a plan that's bigger than anything we could ever ask or think. And we have to position ourselves for what He has next. Look at this. Look at this bunch of grapes right here. Can you see it? We're going to get a lot of grapes this year. Y'all see it? Y'all see those grapes? We're going to get a lot of grapes. This is the arbor, you guys. Remember the arbor I was telling you about that I built? And look at it. It's turning out beautiful. These are grapes in here. A lot of things going on. So we're cleaning out this area, preparing it for workshops, preparing for what God has next for us um, in this space to teach, to welcome, to teach people how to grow. This doesn't happen overnight. This literally takes commitment, dedication, and work. And yes, you can grow food. Yes, you can grow food in 6 days. You can grow microgreens. And I'm going to show you how to do that because I cleaned out my greenhouse so that I can prepare to do hydroponics in here. This is a small greenhouse and it's a workspace, but this is going to be my hydroponic area for the summer where I start to do my starts. So right now, the only thing we have started in here is a shishito peppers. So this is what I have right now. It's just some shishito peppers because all the stuff is outside right now. But we're going to be showing you different methods by way of YouTube on how to get your garden started. Okay. We have positioned and moved things around a lot. When I was a kid at home, we grew silver beet, corn plus beans and lemons. Yes, you can grow all of those things. I actually have lemons and limes growing on the property. You haven't been here in a couple of days, so let me just take you on a little tour. Um, I showed you what's in the teaching area. What's in the teaching area, but this is a teaching garden, so all of it is, right? We put in some onions down here because we're about to plant in these beds. All of the flowers are blooming and the bulbs are coming up, so I'm super excited about that. Um, yeah, so the herbs are growing, the dahlias are blooming. Um, let's see what else. We have some things that are starting new. We're letting some things go to seed because we need the seeds. The oregano is woo, amazing. Look at this onion flowering. The onion is flowering. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. So this is our citrus area. We have lemons and limes. Oh, we got some blooms. Look at there. Lemons and limes. It dies back every year because we are not a we live in zone 7B 8A. So my limes have to be and lemons have to be overwintered. They will not survive. Oh, yes they will. Look at this. Let me show you something. Look at this mandarin orange. That's a mandarin orange. And it survived. This is its 3rd year and it is absolutely beautiful. It looks like I'm gonna need to treat it though because I see some spider mites in there, spider webs in there. So I might need to treat it so it don't get messy. But those are turnips in there. And all out here is the citrus. We have blackberries growing everywhere, raspberries are busting at the seams. We have um, kiwi berries growing back there, the blackberries. This is one blackberry right here, but we have about 16 of them on the property. This is our figs, they're already growing. Yeah, there's so much. There's so much here. Crab apple, more blackberries. We have a lot of blackberries. I just planted the tomatoes. So we put tomatoes in. Oh, the ranunculus is coming in. So we put tomatoes in the other day. So they're coming along. Back here is also blueberries everywhere. And of course, you know, the fruit trees, mulberries, and all the things. These are the beds that I flipped 8 beds. I flipped 8 beds out here. So there are 8 beds that we are getting to plant in. And we put the onions in as a starter, and we're putting in the marigolds. We're doing marigolds from seed because marigolds will keep the bugs off of your food. The thing about planting outdoors is you absolutely have to be persistent about bug deterrents. These are peppers here. These are in a more of a get a little bit more shade, and they like that. They like part sun, part shade. This is my pecan tree, which has not sprouted yet, but we're gonna hope for it. But I put in some crimson clove around it to keep the bugs off of it. So I'm doing a lot of intervention to keep the bugs off of the food. So all of my trees at the base, I put crimson clove so that yeah, we put in also some more tomatoes over here uh in this area underneath the tarp. They're going to get sun at when they get it. You know, we pull these are the bags, so we get to move these around. So that's exciting. We don't have to let them burn. Like so I test run everything. Whatever I put in the ground, I also put in a bag so that we can see what grows better. And a lot of times the bag grows better. Believe it or not, sometimes the bag just grows better. And so, yeah, over here we've put in some sunflowers, um, and we've got Thai basil planted in here. So just waiting for that to come up. Um, we've got plants. We've got a permaculture, so we don't just plant food. We plant Veggies, we plant flowers, we plant everything so that we are able to grow in mass amounts. So here again is our towers, our grow towers. These are our green stalks, and the green stalks grow lots of food. 42 plants per tower, which grows a lot of food. So this is lunch, this is dinner, this is, food. Um, we're going to be planting the potatoes soon. I was making a space back there for them. And yeah, that was a quick tour of what we have going on that I've been preparing over the last week. So last week I took a little bit of a break because I worked really, really hard and I needed to take a break. Because it was really sometimes it gets to you. If you're not careful, if you're not careful, you could burn out. And so I'm gonna sit in the shade. But so that is what I'm doing right now to be more prepared for the things that God wants me to do this year. Um, because there is a need. There's a need for us to show people how in their own backyards, on their own patios, in their kitchens, on their window sills. There is a need for us to show, do you grow edible flowers? Absolutely do. Nasturtiums. Did you know that hostas wasn't edible? Lilies are edible. Tiger lilies are edible. Calendula is edible. We're seeding those this week. Um, yeah, all of those are edible flowers. Lots of edible. Boorish. We're seeding that this week. Boorish, calendula. Um, I already have the lilies, they're growing already. Did you know that you can also did you also know that you could eat oh my goodness, what are they called? So many. We will be talking about those as I plant them out, so you all will have firsthand experience on what I got growing. Oh my God, the raspberries are coming in. Look at the bees. They are hopping on those. Look, that's raspberry right there. And they absolutely love that raspberry. Everything's growing so quickly this year, the weather has been so up and down, but to God be the glory, I didn't lose anything. I just manipulated, moved things around. That's the benefit of growing in bags and pots. This is in a pot tower, a whole big pot, so sometimes you have to grow outside. You can get better results growing outside of the soil, outside of beds, outside of in bed. Sometimes you can get better results. So it's all about trial and error, but the most important thing is knowing your plants. And to grow food, you have to keep growing food. Like you can't stop. Like just because I have tomatoes in the ground doesn't mean I shouldn't go and plant seed some more so that when those are growing, I'm growing in succession, right? So those are already in the ground. So I know how long it takes for tomatoes to grow. So it's time for me to go ahead and seed some more, even if it's just 6 plants. Cucumbers. I have cucumbers that are now ready to grow up and produce cucumbers. So what should I be doing? I should be seeding some more cucumbers because what we got the entire summer to go. That is how you get an abundance of food is you have to grow in succession. You have to constantly be putting a seed in the ground, and that is the goal. So yeah, I do grow edible flowers and we will be doing some of those things together. Um, did you know you can eat the squash flower too? Hi, Eric. So if you all have questions or would like to see more content on certain things, I am happy to do that type of content. So we will be doing some content on edible flowers as well because that is important. And most of these things flower out here if you let them keep growing. And everything has a seed. You just have to study and say, well, where's the seed? Where's the seed in this plant? Like this, that's always my question when I am planting something. Where is the seed? Because that's what I want. I don't want to buy this plant again. Where is the seed? So I'm going to be looking for the seed. So that's the goal. So because we can make our own medicine, our own everything, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. My phone is about to start overheating, so I'm gonna have to jump off of here or turn my phone around because the sun just that frog is stuck in that cooling system. I knew he was in there, I couldn't tell. I'd love to see you taking stuff from the garden and cooking it. Oh, in the kitchen. Okay, can do that too, because I just took some eggs in. We're cleaning up the eggs. I'm also making now, got some carrots that I am about to make juice out of to juice. So I'm gonna be doing. Have done some videos on some of that, Philip. So I might do a playlist where I've been in the kitchen, so you can see some of that as well. Attach that playlist. He says, "Do you do a lot?" Yes, I do preserve in jars. I also preserve by way of freeze drying and dehydrating. Yep. So preserving is key. If you're going to grow food, preserving is key. So I have a bag of greens I just took in. I'm actually going to be haven't decided whether I was going to cook them because I just cooked a batch or whether I was going to let them dry and make green powder because green powder is important too. It is important to have some of these things available if you can't cook, right? So if you're not able to cook, but I'm also going to be doing something special on my channel as well that I'm working on because backing out of systems right now is really important. So I'm going to be doing some outdoor cooking as well because um I want to do more also survival techniques because we're in hurricane season, so we want to make sure that we are teaching people how to survive if they are hit with a hurricane. We are in a hurricane area. I live in North Carolina. We get I've had my home destroyed on 3 occasions by hurricanes. And so I am big on teaching disaster relief. So disaster relief, what does it mean to what should you have ready if a hurricane was to hit, if the lights were to go out, which we've had the lights go out, we've had our trees on our home, we've had trees leveled to the ground, or homes leveled to the ground. So it's really important. We've been flooded, we've had situations, and so it's really important to teach the safety and disaster relief skills as well. Because if someone who has been in the flood, in the hurricane, had a house damaged, destroyed, I am big on that. Do you have sour grass in America? Lemongrass in America. I used to eat it straight from the garden. Yep, lemongrass. We grow lemongrass. I've heard of sour grass when I was living in the city, but the cats and stuff used to pee on it all the time. So I have lemongrass. Lemongrass. I love lemongrass, right? But this year I put all of my lemongrass into the Hugel Couture beds so that they can break down and add that beautiful, beneficial um, value to those beds because we are preparing to grow in drought conditions. Because with the climate changing the way that it is, with the danger of water systems, with the danger of, you know, um, data centers and their use of water, we're going to have to learn how to build in systems that don't use a lot of water. I have water systems. Like this is water systems, right? This is, let me show you. So this is a water barrel. So it collects water. It's completely full. It's completely full. But I can hook my hose up to that if I need to and get water to my plants if things go left. So these water barrels are good to have. And you can make it so that these barrels, oh, that water thing is completely full. It's a spout right there. Um, this one is full of fertilizer. Fertilizer. You said I've lived through bushfires. I know what nature you can do. Sure can. Destroy everything you have. And this one is a screened method. So I've put in a screen. This is just water, but it's there for emergencies and it's got a screen over it to keep things out of it. So I put a mesh over it. So I build in these small methods. I don't have a huge method yet. I would love to have like if I had a pool, that would be great to have, something where I could actually catch water naturally, like in a pool. So this is just a few ways that I'm doing it right now, to make sure that my gardens, and we have to find drought tolerant foods. What are the drought tolerant foods? I mean, if water is going to be an issue, then we should be thinking about what are drought drought tolerant foods. Really. And not just that, but one key thing to um, help out in a drought is always going to be, making sure that you build out a forest floor. Building a forest floor. What is a forest floor? Well, what grows in the forest? Everything. Everything grows in the forest, right? So much stuff grows in the forest because the forest floor is just full of stuff. It's full of tree bark, it's full of leaves, it's full of all the things that fell off the trees. So the things that fall off of my trees go into beds. It becomes mulch. He said, we have droughts here in Australia all the time. Exactly. And it's going to increase. But Australia, for some reason, is one of those geographical areas that will sustain the hard hits. That's what I'm learning. That Australia is one of those areas that will sustain the really hard hits. So, yeah, I don't know what Australians are doing or what y'all's systems are, but whatever y'all doing, it's on the map as one of those sustainable areas. So anyway, that's what we're doing this week is we're building out our workshop area and we're getting on we getting on some schedules to teach sustainable well-being because that is what our people need right now. That is what our families need right now. That is what people need to learn, right? How to get back to sustainable living, how to get back to that, right? So that's what we're doing. I am so glad that you were here. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am Dr. Eve. I am um, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and a leader in my community doing double research on sustainable well being and how we teach all things living well here on this channel. I am so glad that you stopped by and that you are here. If you like the information that you've heard here, please like and subscribe and to our channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Until next time, friends, bye for now.